There he is.
Hey.
That's one ordinary gamer right there.
Thanks, man. What's up, brother? How's it
How
going?
are
you? Wild day today. The nukes are out.
So tell me about basically why you decided to do this.
Well, I decided to do it because I want to say since he dropped his videos, the first one with my face in the thumbnail, I have not stopped seeing it in the comment section for every video. So clearly, it's just been sort of like a thing that's stuck in the audience. I think ever since I reactivated Twitter, it's been filled with the mentions of like, you're a genocide supporter, blah blah blah. And then, obviously that's caused impact to my channel. It's obviously, like people, I mean, you see that in the comment sections, it's bad. But then in reality land, right? Like, this is the first time I had to like completely miss out on like eat prayers and all this stuff, just because I don't really get into my community anymore. So, I don't really see my family much anymore, just to keep them away from me while this is kind of raging. I've got my own community that, I pray every Friday. I go all the time. And, over there, I've been kind of confronted with some people who have brought it up. Just other people in the, I guess, fellowship, so to speak. And it's just not been a fun time. It's been a nuisance to deal with.
This fucking white bitch-made loser, okay, he wants to save you from yourself, I guess. What is he trying to do? What do you think about this white dude telling you that you are pro-genocide?
Bro, it's so insane because like I've said it like publicly. It's like even with like Hassan or whatever, it's like there are some people that just have the ability to turn their like I guess you could say victim card on and off, right? Like, it's easy to be Muslim when it's convenient, just if you want that victim card on you, or like a brown skinned person, but it's like I live it every day, like I can't turn that off. So when I see guys like Noah come in and tell me what I shouldn't and should not feel, especially when I've grown in that environment, like I've grown up in a Muslim household, various degrees of conservative Muslim household too, like depending on how far, like if you go to my grandparents and stuff. So it's just, when I was in that video talking about like my piece towards the end, that came from like a personal experience, something that I highly doubt Noah's been through. So it's shocking that when I'm not on their side, when I'm not on the accepted side, I'm just the Uncle Tom. I'm fucking out of it. Like, I don't know what I'm saying. Like, it's just annoying. It's like, fuck this guy. Like, fuck you.
Yeah, it's like, it's always like, listen to the diverse voices. Listen to what they're saying. Oh, this guy disagreeing, he supports genocide. Don't worry about him. Saying like the worst shit possible about you. Like, why the fuck do they target you with the worst shit possible?
Dude, I normally, like, I wouldn't even get into the legal trenches of this, right? Because it's like, I'm not at the stage you're at where it's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go. Like I'm in the trenches. Like normally I wouldn't, because it's kind of like an apprehensive thing. But when Noah puts me up as like a genocide supporter, right, and like a thumbnail and everything, and I watch his videos, like it's insane because I've had my own lawyers. Like I've sat down and spent billable hours. We watched his videos. And we're just like sitting there like, where the fuck does he get off saying this kind of shit? Like dude, I have a fucking legal bill that I'm looking at for all, like, it's part of like the fucking accounting. It doesn't make any sense anymore. Like I look at everything that he says and I just think like, how do you get out? And it was my wife that came in and she's like, listen, it's kind of like calling you a predator, like a child predator or something.
Totally.
Right? Like, you could, it's one thing if somebody says something about me that like, whatever, it's not going to cause me harm at the end of the day. Like it's just internet beef. This is like, you might as well call me the worst thing imaginable. Yep. And at some point, like I'm going to have to respond to you. And if me, like, cause I don't want to do this thing where I make like a video back and forth. Like I don't want to feed into like nonsense drama if it's not going to do anything. I'd rather it be in a public record. If that's the only way to like defend ourselves at all,
100%,
which it seems like it is.
Yeah. And previously when I've gotten into like spats like this where people are lying about you, you can make a video, you show the receipts, and then everyone's like, oh, okay, he's telling the truth. In this case, these people, Hassan and co, who are part of this cult, they don't care being wrong. That's part of their strategy. They are knowingly malicious. They don't care. It's like, it's just about the target. It's not about the method of criticism. It's just about destroying the target. And they don't care how it's done. We could prove 1,000 times over that they're just totally materially lying, but they won't care. All they'll say now is that we're trying to silence his free speech, which is which
Dude,
is
I
yeah.
hated that so much. Like, so I've seen the whole rumbling. It's like, oh, you guys are shutting down free speech, and I think I tweeted about like Andrew Tate having like a defamation case where like they literally used his own words, and I'm like, well, that's you shutting down free speech. And I've seen like so many people equate that to this situation right here, us looking into like the legal options, and I'm like, no, this is obviously very different because the letter you just read, right? Like just my section alone, and then your section it's like you literally like mishandled, you've like misconstrued every clip that you've shown. We have the context and evidence out there. You could have seen it, you know, you could have relayed it. Dude, I did an investigation on that guy completionist like a year and a half ago with like Carl Jobs, right? And in that investigation, I was so careful on what I could say and what I couldn't say. Like
Mm-hmm.
that video had to be like legally verified. I
Mm-hmm.
got it checked numerous times. I do it for every investigation. Specifically after our beef, actually. After that, like I fucking renewed into a changed man. I'm like, everything that I say has to have like a fucking bullet behind it. Because
Yeah.
the day it goes to court, you know, the day, because I know that I can get sued obviously within a year of making a video per like, you know, most defamation statutes. Unlike no, it's like you got like I have to come with all the evidence prepared, and when I see these guys making their like actual slop videos, like I know that these guys use slop as like the most negative term, but Noah's video was by far the sloppiest thing that I've seen. And like the fact that it was so deconstructed so well, these people will never listen to it. And the problem is, you're right. It's just another like they just want to target. There's so many better targets for them that actually like
Dude, there's shit
hate the
happening
Palestinian
right
people.
now. Hassan
Yeah.
just spent like another 2 hours talking about me on his stream. It's like, bro, there's shit happening right now, dude. Like
Mhm.
actual shit. Like what? Like, dude, there's yeah.
It's like there are so many targets out in the world that probably deserve like actual criticism. So it's like when you're going after like the actual Palestinian supportive voices, it's insane. Like I hate the co-opt use of these guys. Like you're targeting pro-Palestinian voices. I'm like, you can be very pro-Palestinian. I am. You can also not be siding with terrorism. Like to go back to my history, like post 9/11, if you grew up as a Muslim in North America, like you got looks, you know? I believe one of the first hate crimes against after 9/11 was towards like a Sikh individual, right? Not even a Muslim person. It's
Mm.
just because they wore a turban and they looked very similar to, you know, that's what colloquially we believe like the Muslim hijacker to look like. I do have to research that a little bit more, but it's one of the things that struck to me, and it's like when you grow up in an environment like that, to me, I always like I'm a fucking Canadian first, North American, whatever. I believe in supporting my community. I believe in like the freedoms and help of like everyone around. I believe in just everyone getting along. Like it's the most hippie shit that I can come up with and say, and that's really what my beliefs are. And as a Muslim growing up, it's like there's billions of us around the world. Obviously, it's pretty safe to say not all of us support violent terror groups. In fact, we're very much against it. And I guess if anything to be, if anything that I can say is like I'm firmly against groups like that, but that doesn't mean I'm against a plight of an entire group of people that are not all terrorists. You know, it's just insane that this is like this should be such a normal take that everyone has. And in the eyes of the most extreme left, suddenly you're like a genocide supporter for having the most normal take imaginable,
Mm-hmm.
like something that anybody should think. Like it's insanity. Like the more I think about it, the more I'm like actually baffled.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they pushed it so far to the point where there needs to be accountability. Like there needs to be. They forced us into a corner in which like there's pretty much the only way to hold these people accountable. And the unfortunate thing is people like George Janitis, the human STD, and people like Noah Sampson, they are materially rewarded. They get no pushback from their community. They get plugged. They get massively shouted out and supported by Hassan and his and co. So for them, they just see green lights all the way. Like, oh yeah, the more I lie, the more malicious that be about this person, the more views, the more Hassan's going to put me on for sure. Just as mean as I can be about Mudahar or Ethan or anyone that's talked bad about him. So they've created this atmosphere. And listen, it's time for some accountability.
No, 100% agree on there, and that's like why, like again, like I said, I normally wouldn't go the litigious route, but like again, the more I read the letter that Rahmed wrote, I'm like, it's insane. Like I've never seen defamation this clear and like removed. Like it was so matter of fact. you know, that it's just impossible to not go forward with it. And on the topic of like guys like Hassan or whatever, I think it's a great point to also mention. It's like a lot of it does get really exacerbated when you've got one of the largest political streamers in the world going at you, constantly signal boosting stuff that, you know, you should be checking, right? Like, I'm sorry, when there's something fucked up that comes out, if anybody gets a serious accusation against them, whether it be, you know, again, genocide supporting or, you know, getting involved with minors or whatever, it's like, it is your duty, even if you're just signal boosting, to ensure the validity of the source, right? This is a guy that's been on news and people have talked about him as being like one of the greatest parsers and like one of the greatest political figures. And I find it so bullshit. Like the fact that me, who's just an engineer, like the fact that I can parse through all of this stuff better than quote unquote the biggest political streamer is embarrassing. It's shocking to me. And honestly, I think like he should have more accountability, but he'll probably look at this and say, "Oh, it's just slop tuber getting mad at me. It doesn't matter." Ha ha ha. It's like
he won't address
insanity.
anything we're saying. He'll just say that we're exploiting the legal system because we know he's right. Like he'll twist into something like, "Oh, he knows it. That's why they're suing. That's why they're trying to silence him." But
dude,
Hassan, it's not that
insane too.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me tell you the most insane thing. When they say that, it's like I always have to remind people. I'm like, I know where this case is going. It's the fucking state of California, the most free speech supporting state when it comes to cases involving this. I would not go forward with this if I didn't feel that there was something palatable to have.
Absolutely.
My wife has said the perfect thing. It's like the moment we talked about it, suddenly everyone on the left became a fucking legal expert, you know? Suddenly everyone has become like a fucking lawyer. I'm like, if you think that there is no like actual case to be made, I don't see the amount of like coping involved. Like, I don't understand why there's so much coping for this. Like, let it play out. Well, because I feel there is a solid case.
The coping is because, again, they knowingly lie. They have no responsibility to be factual. It's on us. It's like it's up to us to be factual and to correct the record and to care about words. For them, it's just a play where they get to say and do whatever they want to smear you. And just to go back to what you said about Hassan, you being better at parsing, Hassan's a smart guy. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows that it's wrong. He knows that it's a fucking lie, and he just sits there. And when it's a lie, like he was watching a George Janitis human STD video, and George says something like, Ela Klein, who's famously a terrorist that likes to kill babies, something to the effect of that. He's just like, He's like, just no comment.
I think that's so wild too, because it's like, I don't know Ela on a personal level, but I imagine that Hassan knows her because of your guys' like prior podcast work. It's like, every time I see like the anti-Ela train coming out there, it's like, so she did mandatory service. Okay, now she's like a fucking baby killer or something, right? Like it's one of those things where it's like massive jump in logic, you know, and nobody sits down and explains it. And I think it's honestly in that situation, it's one thing if like a fucking Nick Fuente said it, right? Like, sure, we know what he's going with. Yeah. But it's another thing when like Hassan, who is like supposed to be more, it's somebody who's actually connected to Ela. The fact that he co-signs it, it's like,
it's unforgivable for me.
Yeah, it's just, it's like, dude, you have no, like, you're just, again, it's just willfully being ignorant of like facts. He knows the fact. He knows the fact more than the average person commenting on it, but he just chooses to let it happen because you guys are enemies now. We're all enemies.
The funny thing is, before this all happened, Hassan was the biggest fan of Teddy Fresh. He was wearing it all the time. He was asking us for it. Now, by the way, Ela's military service and all this stuff, that's public knowledge. Nothing has changed at all in terms of like what they criticize her for. So Hassan was happily walking around in Teddy Fresh, the biggest fan ever. Ela was already on the record as being a fucking member of mandatory IDF service. But now all of a sudden, with the same facts, right? Now all of a sudden he's giving away Teddy Fresh to homeless people on Skid Row and saying I never liked it. That shit's ugly as fuck. Like, bro, what the fuck? Not that I care, but like he was the one asking for it. He was asking us for it.
It always just feels like somebody that is stuck so far into that like high school like mentality, that college mentality, where it's like there's just no, I want to say, adulthood to it. I talked about this with my wife too, like about like Hassan and everything. Every time I hear like Hassan or Noah talk, it comes from a place of people that just never have had to do anything. Like I always notice how Hassan brings up like his Turkish background and everything. Like, so I'm an immigrant. Like I was born back home. My brother was born here. So and by basically being born back home, I'm talking like a couple months and then I moved here. So by all intents, we're an immigrant family. And we never grew up with like a silver spoon. My dad did like fucking medical school twice. We're talking like, because his license from back home was never validated when it came here. So, you go through the ringer basically 2 times in his life. Not super fun, but we grew up pretty normal. And then every time I hear this guy talk, it's like, dude, you grew up in like the nicest parts of the country. You grew up where like I watched through like Hollywood movies, right? Like when you live in an area like Hollywood, when you live so close to like Sunset Drive, you live in a tourist area. It's like, dude, you have all the privilege in the world. You've never had to go through anything in your life. And now you're going to sit here and like preach to a bunch of people, how they should feel when you've never lived that life. You've never lived the life of a struggle. You've never seen things through the people you're constantly trying to champion for. It's shocking to me how an audience like that exists, and then they become so lazy that they don't even do any research into like claims that these people make or like the attacks they send out. It's taking advantage of a lazy audience, and it's just like a bunch of privileged fucks getting away with.
Yeah, I don't know if you know.
Cosplay.
I don't know if you know Hassan's origin story. His parents are extremely wealthy. His mom is a landlord of like many commercial buildings, which is ironic because Hassan famously said landlords should be pulled into the street and the street should run red with their blood. His mom is a prolific landlord. His dad is a member of like one of the largest Turkish military political parties. They're very, very wealthy. In fact, Hassan, Turkey also has mandatory service, but Hassan actually they sent him off to college. By the way, yeah, they sent him to college from Turkey, which is fucking extraordinarily expensive for anyone in the world, let alone someone in Turkey.
What university did you go to here? Like, was it NYU?
He went to Rutgers, and he went to another one that I think he got.
Yeah, internationally, that's not cheap at all.
Oh, it's it's unbelievable. Yeah. And so he dodged the draft in Turkey. He just fucking dodged the draft in Turkey because his parents are rich.
That's like the insane thing too, because it's like when you got mandatory military service. One of the things that I brought up with like just anytime it was brought up on stream or like I had to correct somebody on like a podcast, I'm like, she has a mandatory military service, right? This is a guy that like got to buy his way out. So it's like, how are you going to shit on somebody that is forced basically by their fucking state to participate in their military like infrastructure? And on Hassan's side, it's like, dude, imagine being so privileged that draft time comes, your parents just send you off to the most expensive countries in the world to get a fucking education.
That's how it used to be. Yeah. I mean, and again, as a socialist, as a communist and all this types of stuff, I think it was during Vietnam where rich people were paying to get their kids out of the draft. And that became a huge thing now in America. They made that now illegal. But Hassan is literally he's literally Donald Trump with the bone spurs. I mean, he didn't make any medical excuses, but he definitely they'd paid up so he could dodge the draft. And I mean, to me, it's like, that's shameful and it's embarrassing. Hila served her country. She did her civic duty. And I think that's a good thing that, regardless, like just in general, right? Outside the scope of like, it's not like she agrees with their practices. Like I've seen her talk about this. It's not like she's a heavily defended person of this. It's like, like the mouthpiece for the Israeli Defensive Forces or whatever. So it's shocking to me how that constantly gets like litigated and brought up. Like when it comes to the military, like way back in the day, I'm talking like fucking obviously high school. It's like even when it comes to the military, like there was a point where I didn't have a choice, like money wise, like it was like join the Air Force and like get your engineering degree through there. Because really that was like one of the only options that I have. So now that I like, when I hear this about Hassan, I'm like, dude, it's like when you have choices versus people who don't have choices. And then you're going to tell the people that don't have a choice at the time. Yep.
To fucking,
that's
you live in this like high moral world.
Like Denham's made this video being like, I understand it was mandatory, but she should have gone to prison. That's what I would have done. And it's like, really? Okay, well, that's so nice of you to fantasize about. Go to
prison then.
They don't have to pay taxes. Hassan and Denham's and all these people don't pay taxes. Go to prison. Be a conscientious objector right now. You don't have to wait. You don't have to fantasize.
Yeah, if you know that your government is financing bad people, don't pay taxes.
That's perfect.
Like now, don't take this advice, audience watching, because I do want you to don't fucking not pay your taxes.
I don't think anybody watching is
yeah, they're not dumb enough to do that. If you're so fucking intent, then stop paying your taxes. Fucking, go get the IRS to clap you on the cheeks, get yourself into a prison, and then just fucking make a statement like that. It's insane that like, yeah. Anytime you bring this kind of shit up, it's always just a deflection. Like it always was funny too, because it's like, I find it funny how like being so anti-capitalist, right? Like being somebody that's like for the people, like eat the rich. I have never seen a bigger consumer than Hassan Piker when it comes to like buying frivolously needless shit,
Yeah,
Like
it's incredible. The
we
loophole.
all have, like we all have like we all have like nice houses. Like I'm sure like you drive a nice car, I drive a nice car, he drives a nice car too. I know that for a fact.
Because he made
And
a
it's
video
like,
bragging about it.
yeah, exactly.
didn't
Sorry, yeah,
do
he
that.
bought a Porsche for his fans, which is insane to me because it's like
I bought it for the
you know?
fans. Oh yeah, there's that clip of him in the dealership. I bought it for the fans, guys.
When I went and bought like a really nice car, it never got posted out there, never happened. Like it wasn't like a buy for the fan purchase, but it's like it's funny how like that gets propped up as like let's fight the evil capitalist system, but also participate in it in the most insanely consumerist ways.
Yeah.
And like it's funny too because it's like me and you. I know you run a business, I run a business, and we like I'm not gonna toot my own horn, but I'm not like a fucking greedy capitalist like billionaire that's like fucking taking extra bonuses, like not paying my employees. And I know you certainly aren't either. So it's like, why are we demonized? And then this guy who's like,
who doesn't pay his mods, by the way?
Yeah,
his mods are
No
on
mods
stream
being paid,
begging
yeah.
for rent money.
It's just insane how that is their world and it's defended. It's like there's no calling out for it, and we're like held to this insane standard that just doesn't make any fucking sense.
Oh, my favorite thing that I see people doing constantly is Ethan went after pro-Palestinian voices, therefore he's pro-genocide. It's like Hassan is not the entire fucking Palestinian movement. These people act like it's him. He is the one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy. It's like you're telling me that just because you're pro-Palestinian, you can't be criticized for anything unrelated or
you know what it is, dude? It's like that South Park episode with like Jesse Jackson being like the emperor of all black people. That's all it is. It's like this guy is the emperor of all Palestinian voices right now. And if you
even though he's not even
him,
Arab, by the way.
Yeah, that's also it's even funny too. It's like I know now. It's like when there was a criticizing, it's like how can Muda be a practicing Muslim? He like drank a beer here and there. I'm like. No, I didn't claim to be like a perfect person, but that guy is like he's like culturally there. I'm like this is like a fucking ID card that you sometimes take with you. It's like I don't understand how this guy's supposed to be the biggest voice of reason here, and he's not even like culturally associated to it. He's not even he cannot criticize. He cannot engage with it in a meaningful manner. It's tough to see that, especially somebody in the actual umbrella. Like, and I'll say this, just it doesn't need to be said, but like, I really wish in my lifetime before I die, I see peace in the Middle East. Like, I hope that every Palestinian and Israeli gets along. I hope that everyone in that region just gets along. To me, it has never made sense why we couldn't get along. We're all like brothers and sisters of the same Abrahamic tree. We should be able to get along, and I hope we do. And recently there were like these anti-Hamas protests, and I looked at that. I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. And immediately when I go on to like a lot of these guys' streams, it's downplaying it. It's like, this is just Israeli propaganda. I'm like, how do you achieve peace when your actual reaction to any semblance of positivity is to be so cynical and Alex Jones-ish towards it, right? Like where you can't, like, I'm sorry, in order to make this entire bridge work, every side has to come together and acknowledge their faults and and build for a better future. As fucking corny and as hallmarkish as that is to say it, that's the only path to it. And I think I will, if I lose every follower and I lose every bit of my online presence by preaching that, it's worth it. Because I don't know if I could live with myself and sleep at night and look at my wife and my parents if I sat down and started supporting a terror organization that is being rebranded as a resistance group, when realistically they aren't. Resistance groups are not torturing their people for protesting against them. Insanity right there.
Yeah.
But so it doesn't need to be said. But yeah.
What Noah and Hassan are essentially saying, or I don't know what Noah said about this, but I know what Hassan has said, downplaying it. He's being like, no. The people in Gaza, they're fighting to the end, till every single Gazan is dead. That's what I want. They're like protesting, like, let's just fucking oust Hamas and end this fucking war. And Hassan's like, no, fight till the end. Every single man, woman, and child at the fronts. for them
so
on their behalf.
It's so easy to say that when you're living in like the safest country in the world, you know, like where Hassan lives, and I anytime I'm in like LA, I Airbnb there all the time and shit too, like fucking in Hollywood or whatever. And it is the safest part of the fucking world, right? Like you got like fucking, you got the most security. He doesn't have to see even the problems of his own city in that area, right?
Right, yeah.
Like, I mean, you want to see problems in LA, you can drive fucking 10, 15 minutes down to like, I mean, it's funny that he went to Skid Row to give your merch because it's like, it's funny for him, like seeing the worst of the country financially is like a 10, 15-minute field trip, you know? And then he gets to go back home. So it's like he gets to live this like really privileged life. And from his home where bombs aren't dropping, because I have talked with Israeli people and like, it's funny too, because one thing that I heard was, you know, one of my friends was out for dinner, right, with his wife, and he's like, in Israel they get these ballistic warnings, like their Amber Alerts on their phone, and they're out for dinner and they see it, and it's almost like they don't really even respond to it. It's like weird. And then I think, as bad as that is, you know, the other side doesn't even have fucking Amber Alerts. Like, they're just getting destroyed and decimated. And you got this fucking dude here who's like saying fight to the death. I'm like, I don't think they want to die anymore. I think they want peace. They've been wanting peace for decades. So let's get them peace.
Yes, dude, it's so fucked up.
Like, I saw a photo from Palestine in the month of Ramadan, this family eating in like a fucking, like their apartment was like bombed the fuck open, you know? And like everyone was talking about like, oh, what if the hinges break? I'm like, I don't think they're at a point where they even care if the fucking building collapses on them, you know? Like, it's depressing, it's sad. It's, when we talk about the reality of it, it's not something that, you know, you want it to end. You know, it's not a team sport. It's not like who's right or who's wrong. We're playing the weird semantic game. We should be looking for a peaceful solution, and we should be looking for it as fast as we can, because there have been tons of people that have been dying there, and it should have stopped it should have stopped decades ago. But it hasn't. And it's also funny too how like anytime they bring up this genocide, it's like, you've been like Hassan said it was quiet for a year. I'm like, dude, this genocide's been going on for decades. And by the way, this is not the only like genocide of people going on. I've never seen Hassan talk about like, you know, the Muslim people in China positively. I've never seen him talk about Muslim Indians.
Yeah.
I've never seen him talk about Muslim Indian people, like my people back home in India. Let me tell you right now, dude, we're second-class citizens. I might even have my nationality completely removed. Like, I'm ethnically Indian as possible. Indian Muslims, fucking total second-class group. Never seen him talk about that at all. I don't even think he cares much about Indian people, to be fair. I've heard him on like camera say like a certain slur, and then you've got like, you know, Sudan. You've got all these areas where things are going on, but they're hyper fixating on this. Especially not because I think they care about the Palestinian people or the Israeli people. It's just because it is how you grift right now. You know, he called out the fact that I got 1 million views on my video and I got like AdSense out of it, which is, you know what? I will personally say this to Hassan, okay? I will give every single dollar of that, you know, video away, which I don't even think it made anything because it got fucking demonetized because of the topic. But I'll do like, but you've also got to give away like a year and a half of your salary at this point, because this is what you've been doing for the last year. You've been grifting off of these dead children.
These guys are like booming. Like it's funny. They go, Noah said the anti-Ethan industrial complex is booming, so everybody should be making videos. It's like that the pro-Palestine industry is booming, and like Hassan is riding that wave big time, man. He is loving it. He's doing sponsored streams, bro. He's doing sponsored streams for fucking Disney-owned games.
He did a sponsor stream from like a Ubisoft title. He did two, like one for Rainbow Six and one for that Assassin's Creed. And it's like, I find it funny how a company that is going through like some sexual like misconduct hearings and its upper staff, you're going to take like, you don't have to take sponsorships. Like,
nope.
To give the audience watching, we can say no to a sponsor. We're all at that level, me, you, and Hassan, where we can just say no. We're not going to sign on with you.
Yep.
He has the option. He still decided to go down that road. And he's like, what, people don't take gaming sponsorships? I'm like, yeah, people do, but you're politically knowledgeable about this topic. I don't know why you decided to throw your hat into the ring. But I guess I know. I mean, private jets don't pay for themselves, right?
No, sir. Those Gucci shirts sure don't come with a cheap price tag. Yeah, and I don't think he's getting them on the real.
No.
You find really good deals there, by the way, if anyone's wondering. All right. Well, listen, I think is there anything else you want to say? I think we've covered it. And I think that I'm I'm extremely grateful that you're coming down this with us together, and I think it's a good thing that a Jew and a Muslim are together standing up for what's right against just it's beautiful, man.
I mean, honestly, it's like it's funny too, because like the more I kind of think about it, like we started off with a beef, and now like years later, we're on a fucking like legal work together, defending like we're just stopping shitty defamation from happening. It's fucking insane. It's but yeah, no, thank you for letting me on, man. It's been highly appreciated, and thanks for like letting me in on this lawsuit as well too, because I really do think this kind of shit needs to be spoken about. I hope that, and it's very helpful of me that some people like actually get the true facts out of, even though we had to bring up actual legal cases and we had to start a legal case, we had to start legal proceedings, we have to talk about this in the first place. Hopefully people learn from it, and I'm just kind of tired of like fucking blatant misinformation on every angle here.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, they put us in a position where we have nothing to lose. So this is all we've got. So anyway, Some Ordinary Gamer, Mudahar, check. He's on YouTube, everybody. You know what it is. And I'm sure we'll talk again as this situation continues. But until then, thanks for calling. God bless.
Yep. You have a good day, man.
All right, take care. Bye-bye. That's Mudahar, everybody. Some Ordinary Gamer. And I'll tell you what, he's very modest. He's no ordinary guy. He's extraordinary. He really is. He really is.